So I've been trying to start my videos off a bit more interesting with some kind of like vague reference. So I was gonna like get all the cool things that happened in 2017 to kind of segue into a Mitch Trubisky joke. And then I went back to look at all the things that happened in 2017 and it was all kind of cringe. So yeah, no cool segue, no Mitch Trubisky joke. Mitch, you get a free pass today, bud. But yeah, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy, Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So if you didn't know what we're doing here, we're going to do a 2017 NFL redraft. Only the first round. We're going to do the pre-draft order, so none of those trades that happened during the draft. But yeah, this is going to be a ton of fun. If you haven't checked out yesterday's video, I basically went through all the draft classes, gave them grades. So I got a pretty clear understanding of like the team's needs, the situation of the franchise, and well, as far as what my big board looks like. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into this sucker. Here we are. Oh, look at that. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. How long has it taken the Browns to get a starting quarterback? I don't know. Let's ask Tim Couch. Let's go ahead, get them that starting quarterback. I think this kind of goes without, you don't really have to think about it, right? We're going to go Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league. He was probably the best pick in this draft. Easy. Fun fact for the 49ers, who are the next pick here on the clock. They don't have much at quarterback right now. I think they had Blaine Gabbert. They had, I know they had Colin Kaepernick for a little bit. They had, who else did they have? Niners. I mean, essentially they had nobody. They had nada. I think they had Hoyer too. Yeah, they had Hoyer actually started a majority of their games. So yeah, we're gonna go Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'm sure San Fran, they'll find a way to keep Deshaun away from those massage parlors. And yo, that's messed up. I mean, okay, pending lawsuits aside, Deshaun Watson's probably, yeah, he's easily the best quarterback in this class. He is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much more to say about that. He would infinitely help the situation at quarterback there. They won't have to go trade for Jimmy G down the line and then eventually draft Trey Lance. Well, I mean, I guess depending on the massage parlor thing, but I'm not going to harp on that too much. All right, let's go ahead with the Chicago Bears. So yeah, in this case, those Bears, they don't trade up to get Mitch Trubisky, and I'm not going to go with any jokes here. So this is before the Khalil Mack trade. So instead of making that big trade, we're going to go ahead and get a edge rusher here, and it is between Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. Both are very good at their position. And I mean, quite frankly, like Myles Garrett was a great selection by the Browns. I mean, no one really had Watson or Mahomes on their radar for like top 10 pick. Or at least not many people did. So yeah, this one's a tight one. It's really whoever your cup of tea is. I'm gonna go with TJ Watt. I think he might be a better scheme fit though. I think Myles Garrett, I mean, you could probably, if they're still running this like 3-4-esque system. So Myles Garrett, you could easily, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of schemes nowadays are kind of hybridish. So does it even really matter? But I'm going to lean with TJ Watt this time around. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a gander at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Blake Bortles, man. Yeah, he's a thing. That kind of sucks. We all know their pick here was Leonard Fournette. We're going to make that not happen because obviously that was a poor pick. That was probably they had one of the worst draft classes. Going back and looking at it, like their best pick ended up being Cam Robinson. And even then, I would have never put the franchise tag on Cam. But I think I want to at least give Blake a fighting chance. I suppose, because the defense is already like stupid good. So they have Allen Robinson. So I'm gonna go with my highest ranked receiver in this class being Chris Godwin, dude. You might be like, F4, that's too high. No, he's that good. I feel like people don't put enough respect on Chris Robinson, or Chris, wow. I've literally merged Allen Robinson and Chris Godwin into one entity. But can you imagine that pair? I mean, if they are going to eventually lose Allen Robinson or choose not to re-sign him, then yeah, Godwin's a great guy to have. He can play on the inside and the outside. You got to love that. The Tennessee Titans. For me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I think Brian Orakpo is really all they have in terms of pass rush. Myles Garrett still being on the board. Like, he is definitely worthy of a top 5 pick. So we're going to make him a top 5 pick here. And I'm going to try to look at that. Nice and pretty. But we're going to make him top 5 pick here. It's going to be going to the Tennessee Titans. And then the New York Jets. This is kind of like they're on the decline, man. They're heavily on the decline. I wouldn't mind a quarterback here. They eventually would get Sam Darnold the following year. Obviously, things didn't work out there. But there is no quarterback to be had. We could run the whole Mitch Trubisky thing, but let's be honest. Instead, I think I'm gonna try to make the corner position good. They really had no one there, so you might be like, who's gonna be the corner here? Because honestly, this corner class is kind of studded, especially at the top. I'm between Marlon Humphrey, who I love this guy. Like, the guy has such great versatility playing on the inside and the outside, and then Tre'Davious White is just a monster in his own right. Both are top 5 to 10 cornerbacks in the respective league, and for their respective position. Yeah, something like that, man. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But I think I'm gonna go with White. I think I went with Humphrey last time. It's really it's kind of scheme dependent at that. White, in this case, they were playing, I believe, more zone at this time, so I think White might have been the better option here. And then the Chargers, their offensive line, guess what? It still sucked. So we're going to solve that problem with Ryan freaking Ramczyk, man. This guy has been amazing. He was a great pick for the Saints. Sorry, Saints. He's not available. He didn't make it. Yeah, he's kind of worthy of his status. And a lot of people might look at it like, well, he plays right tackle. He plays the least important tackle position, which, I don't know. If you still kind of think that like the right tackle is less important than left tackle, jump off a bridge. Like, dude, I was looking at some analytics, and apparently, like, the right tackle typically gets actually last year statistically saw more pressure from the top grade pass rusher on the opposing defenses, but also that they got more help from like a blocking tight end. So there is that to be had. I think both are equally as important, and they kind of should be paid in the same ballpark. We're going to the Carolina Panthers, and this one's gonna be a bit interesting. All right, so follow me, because we're kind of we're not there yet, but we're kind of in the waning years of Cam Newton, at least after the whole. They made it to the Super Bowl. What's next for Cam? Oh crap! What happened? He has no receivers at this time. He would get Curtis Samuel in this draft, but outside of that, I think they had Kelvin Benjamin. You serious? Like, nah. And I think Devin Funchess may have been on the squad too. So I'm gonna keep in that wheelhouse with a kind of a big target especially a big downfield target. He didn't get drafted till I think the 3rd round. But I'm gonna go with, where are you at? Kenny Galladay, man. There's a reason this guy got big boy money. It's a shame that he's already 28, which is wild. He probably only has that one deal in him. So like which I mean, I think the Panther, like, typically when you get above 30 at the wide receiver, like 30, 32, that's typically where you see the decline. So you got to be feeling like somewhere in like year 3 of that his now big deal. Like you can't imagine another big deal is coming. So you're grabbing Kenny Galladay, knowing that he kind of emerged quite early, which that's typically the fashion of receivers. Like if you're a playmaker, you're going to see it almost immediately. Like receivers, they don't typically grow into playmakers down like further as they further develop, you know, opposed to like the tackle position. You really don't find out if you have a really good player at that position when you draft them till like year 2 or 3, maybe. But yeah, we're gonna go with Kenny Galladay. It really helps out Cam Newton here. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals. This team's mediocre. They still got Andy Dalton at the helm. They got AJ Green. I'm just gonna add a bit and he might be. They ended up grabbing John Ross here, so they wanted to grab a playmaker. More importantly, vertically. But I mean, AJ Green's kind of a vertical threat. They have, I believe, they have Tyler Boyd at this point. Yeah, Tyler Boyd, like low key, has been in the league for what seems like forever, right? Just want to make sure. Yeah, he was drafted a year before. Cool. So they got Tyler Boyd. They got a guy in the slot. I like the idea of grabbing Kittle here because they didn't really have somebody on at tight end. Tyler Eifert, but you know, he's often injured. I know Kittle, knock on him is like, oh, he gets hurt a lot too. Nah, not like Eifert. Eifert has like season-ending injuries. Kittle gets banged up. But Kittle's great, man. He is probably the 2nd best tight end in the league. Some people want to say Darren Waller is up there, but I mean, I think Darren Waller is like a safe 3. So we're at the Buffalo Bills. They don't get White here. I kind of struggled with this because I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a good scheme fit, but they went with corner. They did that with reason. Their corner room was kind of lacking. I'm gonna go with Marlon Humphrey. I just like that versatility. The scheme does kind of worry me a bit. I don't think it's a nail in the coffin though. I mean, coming from Nick Saban's Alabama, he's played a lot of cover 2, cover 4, so just because of what he's really excelling at in the NFL right now, being kind of like that man coverage, it doesn't mean that's the only trick in his cap. I don't know if that's a saying. I kind of made it up. We're going with the New Orleans Saints. Their secondary sucks, dude. Like it's bad. And I kind of felt like I had to go corner here. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of close. It was either Marshawn Lattimore, the ups and downs of Marshawn Lattimore, or the injury-plagued Adoree Jackson. And I think both these guys are that good. They play a premium position. I think corner is the most important position on the defense. The more the merrier. You need like 4 quality guys to really have a really good defense there, you know. So we're gonna go with Lattimore just because we kind of know how it's been for him there in New Orleans. I like Adoree a lot. For me, it might be. It feels a bit early, but not too early. Like, no, I'd be willing to take Adoree Jackson. Some people don't like Adoree Jackson. Like, dude, when healthy, I think he's top 10 corner of the league. Like, he has been that good. Adoree, I might just be a mark for Adoree though. And then we're gonna go to they back on the clock. I would have loved if Kenny Golladay was here for the Browns. He's not. We could go best player available at this point in the draft, which, I mean, Jamal Adams would be kind of fun. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, he's not my top corner. Or not my top safety. Like, he's up there though. I ended up going with, I mean, you're making a case for Corey Davis, am I right? Corey Davis kind of emerged this year, but yeah, he's a competent number 2. I ended up going with, hey, let's just protect our quarterback. We know Joe Thomas isn't long for the roster. He will retire shortly. Maybe, having a winning quarterback keeps him around the league for a little while longer, but I'm going to grab Garrett Bowles. I know this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? When it was like, sometimes you really don't know what you have in the tackle you drafted immediately. Sometimes it's like 2 to 3 years, and it was about year 3 where it was like, okay, man, he's cleaned up a bit on the holding calls, and then really emerged. He dude's a top 10 tackle in the league. Like, he's really good, so we're gonna go with him here. Arizona Cardinals. Oh man, y'all are gonna love this. So all that Adoree Jackson hype I was talking about, yeah, let's actually get Patrick Peterson a running mate for once in his career. I'm going with Adoree Jackson, man. I'm telling you, I love Adoree Jackson. Whether it's man or zone, the guy does it well. He's got great speed, great reflexes, great lateral quickness. I mean, so much so he was used as a returner for a little bit in his rookie year. So yeah, we're going with Adoree Jackson. Like, just kind of hoping the health's on our side there. Philadelphia Eagles. This is actually a pretty complete squad, and I think this is the year they end up actually winning the Super Bowl. Excuse me. Oh man. Oh, here, I bend over here, right? Like I'm out of frame. I gotta like go below my desk. Yeah, they got a complete squad, and this is actually a really good running back class. And I know running back this early, it's kind of like a faux pas, but I mean, this is a really good running back class. Like Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, I think are all worthy of first round, just of a shot in the first round. 14, that's a bit rich for me. But I mean, if you think, yeah, Kareem Hunt's in here. As long as he can stay out of trouble. But this is, yeah, Aaron Jones too. Like, this is a really good running back class. So yeah, you could get one later, but with the team this complete, like, I think you could kind of go with just some value. We could go receiver here too, knowing like Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, those guys kind of get beat up. But I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook, man. What makes these running backs, I think, first round worthy is their ability in the passing game. And you might be like, okay, Christian McCaffrey, then he's surefire for that. Then Dalvin Cook, man, I think is just a better overall running back too, though. Like Christian McCaffrey does, like, he's great in the receiving game. He's a pretty solid back, but I think I just kind of lean with Dalvin Cook. I'm just leaning with Dalvin Cook. I think he's actually a really good fit for this blocking scheme as well. So, yeah, I'm going to run with it here. And then we got the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, man, secondary. They really had nothing. This is where they actually missed on Malik Hooker in the draft, if I'm to be correct. Yep. This is where they missed on Malik Hooker. So, I'm not going to do that. I said that, like, Jamal Adams isn't my top safety. Like, it's close. Like between Adams, I like Marcus Williams a lot. You can even make a case for Marcus May, man. He's came to his own. Eddie Jackson's real good. But John Johnson was probably the next closest guy. Just with the versatility of what I could get from Adams, even though I think Johnson might be better, probably the better coverage guy. I'm gonna go with Adams. I think they could do some fun stuff with him on defense. And then on to the Baltimore Ravens. I just want to all right. We're like a year away from Lamar Jackson. We got Joe Flacco. We're throwing the ball deep. Let's get a nice, big, thick, deep target. That sounded dirtier than it was supposed to. We're gonna go with Mike Williams, man. He's a good jump ball guy. I think he's a competent. I think he's a very good number 2. I don't think he's ever gonna be the guy, but I think he is a great number 2. You just kind of worry about the health, man, because dude comes down hard. He'll go up. Dude will go up. You're not gonna beat this guy at the catch point, but man, he needs to learn to break his fall. Just saying. And then at 17, Washington. Again, their secondary is kind of it's not bad. I think it could use some help at safety mainly, and it's great because this is a great safety class, and I think people really undervalue how important the safety position really is. Talk about coverage, yes, corner vastly more important, but safety help brings it all together. You're not necessarily going to see a lot of plays that safeties actually make, and maybe deterring quarterbacks from even throwing or taking shots downfield. So I'm going to go with John Johnson. I'm a big fan of the guy. He should have got paid way more money in free agency. Browns, you got to steal there. Tennessee Titans, this is their second pick here. And they're I think Kenny Britt at this time. I believe is it Kenny Britt? Who's their receivers at this time? Tennessee Titans 27. Is it Kenny Britt? Am I thinking of the right squad? No, not their draft. I don't care about their draft. I'm doing their draft. Give me their roster. I mean, regardless, it's kind of thin there in Tennessee. Oh yeah, Kenny Britt. Yeah, he wasn't even on the. Oh yeah, he was. Wasn't he with? I think he was with the Browns at this point. Yeah, so they got Rashard Matthews, which he was actually kind of solid throughout his career. But yeah, no, we're gonna go receiver. We're gonna go with the guy that low key, he wasn't initially the best outside receiver. I thought he was a very good slot guy, and I thought that was just going to be just what he was in the NFL. Last year, he made it work. The dude was phenomenal on the outside. I think I like him a lot, man. Cooper Kupp, man. Great route runner. Gets things done after the catch. Like I said, I worried about how he was handling press, and then last year he kind of just washed those worries away. So they make out with Myles Garrett and Cooper Kupp, man. I think that's good. And then 19, the Buccaneers. They drafted originally here O.J. Howard. Obviously, we don't know how that's working out right now. Maybe he gets traded. But they also drafted Justin Evans at safety during this class or during this draft. And he's all right, but I mean, let's get a stud at safety. They could use help. And I mean, it doesn't help that they have Chris Conte at the other safety position. So I'm going to grab the other safety I'm pretty high on here, Marcus Williams. Everyone remembers him from the Miracle in Minneapolis, and you'd be wrong. Dude's been one of the best safeties in the league. He had a bit of a sophomore slump, but he's put up 3 banger years of production. And then we got the Denver Broncos. They can no longer get their tackle anymore. That kind of sucks. But it's all right. We'll do something else for him. I mean, I would have loved to go quarterback, they have what they have Paxton Lynch back there, right? So you know things are bad, and Brock Osweiler. So you know things are bad, but obviously we can't go Mitch Trubisky. Oh, I'm tempted to. I'm tempted to. I think actually their actual starter for the year ended up being Trevor Siemian, but they have Emmanuel Sanders, who's a banger. They had Demaryius Thomas, but we know his production kind of falls off a cliff after the 2017 season. So I was thinking Curtis Samuel, Juju, but they're too similar to Manuel Sanders. Manuel Sanders, he can't play on the outside, so I guess you could justify taking one of these two guys. Probably Juju maybe edges him out a little bit, but I'm gonna go with a guy that's at least supposed to be in the similar mold as Thomas, at least at this point in his career. Big possession guy. And Corey Davis. Like, I think he's an adequate number 2, man. Him next to Emmanuel Sanders, I think would be very fine. Very fine. You saw how he did this year with AJ, across from AJ Brown. I'm just going to take that as things to come. Things to come. Maybe he's a very quality number 2. And then we're going to go to the Detroit Lions. They've been looking for a run game, like, forever. Let's kind of give it to them. Because I don't think these guys should fall too hard, just because how good they're literally, like, I think outside of Derrick Henry, you get probably 3 of the top 4 guys at their position in this class. So I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey. I think that would be a phenomenal weapon for Matthew Stafford. Phenomenal. Could have won a variety of different areas. But I think, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I think just the value, outside of maybe safety, the value is probably running back, man. Yeah. I mean, I agree. No, that's it. Dude, Austin Eckler was also in this class. Joe Mixon. This running back class kind of lit. Miami Dolphins. So here we are with the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Dolphins, this was probably the best they've been in a while. Here, picking at 22, that's phenomenal. Rashad Jones is kind of on the way out. He's also, I think at this time they brought in TJ McDonald, but he ended up just not working out. So we're going to stick with the safety position since it's probably just as deep. It's probably one of the, I'm not going to lie, y'all, it's probably the, outside of the running back position, it's probably the deepest class in here. Again, because you also have guys like Buda Baker, Jabril Peppers, who might not even make it in the first round, just because of how good this class is. But I'm going to go with Eddie Jackson. The dude's just a playmaker. Just love it. Love it. So, yeah, look at that. More safeties than we'll probably ever see in the first round in this class. But that's what happens when you could look back 4 years from now. All right, New York Football Giants. They need help at tackle. We're going to get them help at tackle right now. Because guess what? We're going with my boy Taylor Moton, dude. He has been phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. He probably could have gone a little earlier than this. I think I was tempted. I think I was maybe tempted here. Yeah, because I don't think they have Orlando Brown at the time. Yeah, they don't have Brown at the time, so I was kind of tempted maybe to go here. But yeah, dude could have went earlier. I mean, yeah, that's it. He could have went earlier. Taylor Moton, dude, phenomenal pick. And then the Oakland Raiders, because they're Oakland at this time. They actually I think I gave them. They had the worst draft class. They had the worst grade in this draft class. Their draft sucked this year. The best player I think they pulled out of there was, it was the linebacker, like Marquell Lee or something, I think. Eric Wilson's in here too. Interesting. Where's he at? Yeah, Marquell Lee. Never trust Wake Forest linebackers, man. But yeah, so we're gonna actually try to do right by them. Kind of. Oh, dude, I'm going total Mike Mayock, John Gruden. I'm going with Alvin Kamara, dude. Oh, dude, and I'm not gonna lie, this seems really silly. This seems really silly just because of, I think they have Marshawn Lynch on the roster at this time. Yeah, they got Marshawn, but we know Marshawn doesn't last too long in Oakland. And then who are the other running backs they had behind him? Let's see. They had Tywan Jones. It was an okay change of pace back, and that's about it. So yeah, we're gonna go. I mean, there's not much we can do for this roster. I'm gonna be straight up for you, straight up about it. Like, because like they have Crabtree, who and Cooper, who that's not bad. We don't have to dip into the receiver class, but we can. Honestly, their offensive line is disgusting. They have Jared Cook at tight end. And their defense is a mess, but it's like I don't know where we would go with that. Like they got Mario Edwards, who's all right. He's solid. We could go with defensive interior, but if I'm gonna go for a position that doesn't have a lot of value, then man, I might as well swing at running back. We could have went with safety because Reggie Nelson's 34. But yeah, in the end, let's just go with Kamara. He'd be a sick, first of all, change of pace back with Lynch, and then eventually just take over things. Plus, he'd be like Carr's best friend in the passing game. All right, Houston Texans. This team's gonna be trash. They get no Deshaun Watson. It's gonna be tough sledding. Let's just go ahead and get them protection on that offensive line for whatever guy has to be there back at center. Deion Dawkins has actually been one of the more reliable tackles in the league. I thought he was gonna end up being a guard, but he's been able to stay at left tackle for the Bills, and he's been solid at that. I wouldn't say he's like stellar. He's probably like a top 15, top 20 tackle in the league. But yeah, it would help. His versatility would help a ton. And then I got the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, really the only thing they got out of this class, actually, I think they got Chris Carson out of this class, right? He was in this class. Oh, they did. Yeah, Chris Carson. So outside of Chris Carson, they also got David Moore too. But outside of those two, which you're not spending first round picks on either of those guys, they got a solid corner that they let get away in free agency in Shaquille Griffin. We're going to go ahead and draft him now. This is kind of near the end of the Legion of Boom. So getting help in this secondary is really a necessity. And then the Kansas City Chiefs at 27. Their linebacking core sucks. I feel great. I feel better about taking a guy like Reuben Foster. If I knew like his character issues once have just like derailed his whole career, I might be willing to take him, but I'm not. I'm gonna go with a guy I'm super high on. I think they actually list him at edge. Yeah, Jayon Brown. Dude's one of the better coverage linebackers in the league. He's like a top 10 to top 12 linebacker in my opinion. Dude's great. Very underappreciated. He'd be a mainstay on that Kansas City defense. You'd be thanking me later. Outside if you missed out on Mahomes. Dallas Cowboys, man. Oh, gosh, this is rough because this is when they were going through. Like, I wouldn't mind grabbing a receiver here they got, but like, I was like Curtis Samuel, Juju. They already got Cole Beasley, who does that role pretty darn well. So we didn't go with that there. Tight end is a thought, but I didn't want Cowboys fans to hate me, so I didn't do it. Edge wouldn't have been a bad way to go. Like, really, the only, like, Trey Hendrickson and, like, Carl Lawson, these are guys that just got paid big contracts, but we're really going to find out this year if they were worth it. They're coming off big years. So it's like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm that confident in this, you know what I'm saying? That confident in taking those guys, at least at this point. Oh yeah, some weird thing. They always, I don't know what it is with this draft simulator. Every time I try to do a first round, they include the Patriots with the 25th pick. I don't know what's up with that. Patriots trying to cheat again. I ended up just because this is when they had Jones back there. They eventually do move Jones back to corner. So I thought maybe let's just go safety here because the safety class is a banger. We went with Marcus May, man. He doesn't get enough recognition, man. He's really developed into a very good player. Like a more than just competent replacement for Jamal Adams. I would argue like the dude's coverage skills are better. He's used in a variety of different ways, much like Jamal Adams. I think he's done a good job of filling in that hole. So let's just go do that for the Cowboys right now. 29, we have the Green Bay Packers. I think after this season, Randall Cobb's gone. Let's just go ahead and grab his replacement. I'm feeling that kind of way today. We're going to go with Curtis Samuel. I was thinking about Juju. I still might do Juju. No, I like Curtis Samuel. He's kind of more built in that Randall Cobb role. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. However, y'all, I'm just going to say, man, look at the money they got paid this offseason. Just going to say that. What Juju got $8 million to, what was it, like 3 years, $27 million for Samuel? Just saying. Steelers, they miss out on TJ Watt. I think this is a really good Steelers squad, so I'm willing to take a shot at Carl Lawson at this point and hoping like this dude's a stud. So, and if anything, I trust the Steelers with development pass rushers. I mean, they put a guy like Bud Dupree in great position to succeed there. Granted, part of that was because of how stellar the rest of that defensive line and being opposite of TJ Watt was, but and not to bang on Bud Dupree. I just think he got grossly overpaid. But yeah, I think this is solid here. And then with Atlanta, they got McKinley here. It didn't work out. I think I'm going to stay in the ballpark here of what they did and get Hassan Riddick as kind of like especially how they used McKinley in his rookie year as kind of like this pure passing down rusher. Like, I think he would excel extremely early, Reddick, and he wouldn't have to go through just this monotonous, are you a linebacker? Are you like just position change over position change and just changing of roles? Just go ahead, have this guy get after it like you were supposed to from day one. And then the Saints, who did we draft earlier for the Saints? Marshawn Lattimore. So now we got to make good on something here. We got to make good. And I think I did this in my last one. It just makes sense. Just, again, helping out. Because their secondary really is in shambles. Or at least the corner position. And I think Desmond Keene would be a solid fit here in the slot. Some of y'all may like it. Some of y'all may hate it. I don't really care. Desmond Keene's a really good player. I think he would have a great time in this in New Orleans there. And I mean, you're kind of setting it for the next 4 years at your starting slot and starting corner position. So, and of course, let's go ahead. Let's give New England an extra pick. Where are we gonna go? There we go. Good pick. So let's go over this real quick, man. I think we did a solid job here. I say me. I think I did good. I I mean, I think this is kind of like the top 10 is kind of obvious of who were to go here. I think you can make a case for maybe Bulls sneaking into the top 10 as well. Y'all know about me and running backs. Like Dalvin Cook at 14, man, really gritted my teeth. But I mean, again, if you're gonna draft running back, especially that early, I think you need to be able to have the luxury of doing so, and I felt like the Eagles did. But yeah, you let me know in the comment section below, of course. But yeah, that's it for a video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.